Yeah, but just getting back to Terence Crawford talking reckless on my man Tank, man. My goodness. It's like if any, I mean, listen, man. In the grand scheme of things, uh, you know, we're talking about fighters who are like trying to make a name for themselves, like a historic, legendary name. It's safe to say that Terence Crawford is one of those. Tank, definitely, uh, at this point in his career. But just hearing um, Terence Crawford on this interview with Cigar Talk. Never seen this guy before, but clicked on it. Uh, Decent. I mean, the freaking interviewer was like non-biased. Um, you could tell he was a fan of Crawford, but you could tell he was a fan of boxing in general because he knew everyone. He knew all the boxers. He was bouncing back and forth with Crawford with many different levels of conversation in the sport. But my gosh, though, when Tank comes up, Crawford didn't really hold his he didn't hold his tongue, man. He basically was like, listen, man, I don't really like this guy. I don't like nothing about this guy. And as me being a huge Terence Crawford fan, uh, like that's my favorite fighter since Floyd Mayweather retired. Floyd is my all-time favorite fighter. But this guy Crawford, man, I've been watching him for years, man. Uh, he's definitely my favorite fighter currently. And um, but speaking about Floyd though, like it kind of goes back to Gervonta Tank Davis again because like I watched young Tank Davis, man. I watched Gervonta Davis, man, on the Floyd Mayweather undercard fights, and even my peoples in Baltimore, man, my uncle, man, like he put us on point with Gervonta Davis back in the day. He was like, "Hey, watch this kid, man. This kid might be one of those." And because I used to listen, man, I used to host the fights, so like I would get every Floyd fight for years. You know what I mean? Pay per view, paid, and and then so voila, you see Gervonta Davis on the undercard, and you hear the hype coming from the Baltimore streets, uh, DC streets a little bit. Well, I didn't personally hear anything about Tank Davis from DC, but my people's in Baltimore for sure. Uh, so I'm just like just kind of processing what I just heard in this interview with Cigar Talk. Cigar Talk hosted it with Terence Crawford being the guest. And again, the Tank thing comes up, and apparently they've been going back and forth on social media. I'm not really on social media as far as just every day keeping up with everything, but apparently they went back and forth. Um, I did see some of the stuff, but in this particular interview that came out today, right? Um, I've you see that's when you just see Terence Crawford saying what he said. Uh, Being these two fighters are like my two favorite fighters right now. It was just interesting to hear that. Although, like I said before, Tank admitted it himself. He's going through some things. My man Calvin, Coach Calvin, where's Coach Calvin? He's not even in the corner this fight for Tank's up and coming fight against Lamont Roach. Uh, Homeboy, some coach from DC is training Tank for this fight. So whatever's Tank going through, he's definitely going through something, and he's trying to figure it out. whatever that means. You know, I'm just a fan. We all just a little guy. We the little guys, right? We're the nobodies. But listen, man, we still fans, man, and I'm still rooting for Tank. I mean, but like I say, all I wanted to really say is just like, hey, man, you gotta watch your mouth, man, when you comment about my man Tank, man. I mean, I'm just saying, like, even Crawford, bro. Please, big bro Crawford. I mean, actually, I'm your big bro Crawford. Get the hell out of here. Older you, boy. But, bro, watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth when you want to talk about my little guy, man. This dude is a monster, man. Hell, even sometimes I rooted against Tank on the low because he'll say something or do something. It's just like, because the boy tough, man. He's like, uh, his heart is hardened, but I don't think he's cold hearted, if that makes any sense. His heart is hardened, but I don't think he's cold hearted. And so, listen, I'm still rooting for Tank, but like sometimes I might, you know what I mean? But he'll come out in that ring every time, man. He'll show you. And the boy is smarter than what people give him credit for, especially, I mean, and just in general, but in the ring, that dude, he know what's up, man. Like, hey, man, let's keep your name out your mouth. I can't believe I'm saying this, man, because Crawford is my number one. You heard? Ever since Floyd retired, man. But I'm like, man, Tank, get it right, baby. Because Crawford was dropping some nuggets, man. He kind of gave his perspective on why he said what he said, and it made a lot of sense, man. He said Tank walk around with a bunch of bodyguards, and he kind of uses his wealth and his stature from boxing to like shield who he really is, according to Crawford. That's some deep stuff. And I want to say I will agree with that because as you get older and mature, you just learn about more things about yourself. You just start having a better understanding. Maybe Tank isn't quite there yet. Crawford is clearly there. You know what I'm saying? Because Crawford, listen, man, Crawford don't have to walk around with a whole bunch of bodyguards. Like, he's more comfortable. He kind of know who he is. He know where them 10 toes come from. He know who he is. That's not to say, famous people and celebrities shouldn't have security, but I'm just saying, like, when he says these little things, like whole lot of bodyguards and things, you got to understand what he's saying. Like, he's talking about the man himself. And that's deep, because those are the real conversations that you, me, we all is going to have one day in regards to just learning yourself and knowing who you are, man. So that's what I'll say about that. Watch your mouth, Crawford, my guy, because Tank is my guy too. But you're right, though. Tank is going to get there. I believe him.